I'm Brian.
And I'm Maxwell.
Welcome to Seriously Cereal. Thanks to our supporters at Patreon, we now post 2 episodes every Saturday.
And you can support the show for as low as $2 a month and get awesome rewards.
Do you prefer your cereal dry? Then you're a snacker.
Or do you prefer with milk? Then you're a spooner. Today's
cereal is...
Hostess Twinkies cereal.
Finally!
Yeah, seriously, where
was this thing?
People have been talking about us
since like June or July.
Yeah, we have seen people talking about this since June or July. People have been telling us about it since June or July.
And it came out in the end of December.
Let's just get right into this. Finally, it's finally here. Twinkies cereal.
The smell is a lot. It's strong, it's sweet.
Look at this on the back.
A weird looking one.
Yeah. But when you look at this on the back, it's like, I'd like to say, try these other 2 delicious flavors. You know, the powdered donuts and the honey bun cereals. You know, it's always been 3.
The honey bun.
It's always been these 3. No, it hasn't.
Honey buns.
Those 2 have been out for months before this thing finally got the shelves.
I don't understand what took so long. Look at it. That's a double.
Yeah.
Look at it. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
I mean, I guess...
Why did it take so long?
I guess, to be fair, it is like Twinkies, so I suppose out of all of them, they'd want to like make it like the best.
And from what I understand, which I just broke one open,
huh?
No filling.
What the heck?
All
what?
Sadness. Yeah, no, there's not filling. It's just cake.
Okay.
Cake.
So I was about to say, I guess, well, it is Twinkies. They're like one of their most famous, if not the most famous sweet. So they want to get it as accurate as possible.
No.
What?
The snack cake golden child. That's a lot for something that they took away, discontinued, and then mysteriously brought back. Yeah. Twinkies are Twinkies. They're like, what flavor are they? Cake? I don't know.
Frosting and cake.
Like, everyone's like, Twinkies, but when you actually have one, I feel like it's a little disappointing. Like, it's never quite what you want it to be. They're very oily. Like, if you, like, touch or squish the cake at all, like, oil comes out of it, which is actually not something that's supposed to happen with baked goods.
Oh, and, before we go into the box, we should stress this is a totally new box. We got this week, and yet we keep finding these. Like, as we were pointing out this actual cereal, we found like one of these.
Yeah, there's like some
it has like
black on it.
Yeah, it has like little black bits. It looks like they were like burnt.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I'm assuming that is exactly what happened, because you know, again, this is like a brand new box. So it's not like
well, and it's on edges. At least on this
that's
one.
also true. It is pretty consistent. But still, for how long they took to get this thing out, there's a lot of, like, oversights here.
It's a lot of, like, powdery sugar stuff on it.
Yeah, like
it's coming off all over my fingers.
Like, any of you on Patreon remembers my first post about this. It was, like, in June and July, and I was like, it was a poll. I was like, what do you guys think this is gonna be? Do you think it's gonna be awesome? Do you think it's gonna be weird? Or do you think it's gonna be so terrible it's gonna loop back around on itself and become the greatest cereal ever? That was an actual option on the poll.
The first half, not the second half.
But, yeah, now I'm just... Yeah, it's interesting what you were saying about Twinkies. It's like, it's very simple, like...
Okay, hold the phone.
What?
The first ingredient is dextrose.
Dextrose?
What in the bleep is dextrose? Number 1 ingredient. Dextrose, then sugar, then corn flour.
Yeah, what is dextrose?
I'm getting my phone back out. This is...
Dextrose.
Yeah, we're...
Dextrose. Dextrose.
Let me tell you, it's not something I have in my kitchen.
Oh, frozen. I'm noticing though that...
Oh, you can get dextrose powder.
Oh, good.
It's sugar.
Okay.
I think it's a type of sugar.
If you
Dextrose is the name of a simple sugar that's made from corn and chemically identical to glucose.
Okay.
It's a simple sugar, so it's absorbed quickly. So basically the ingredients are sugar and then sugar. and then corn flour, and then hydrogenated vegetable oil, and then wheat flour.
Okay.
There's lots of types of flours, but it's sugar and then sugar are the first two ingredients. Which makes sense, because like my finger, like there's like this powdery sugar all over it.
Yeah.
And like the smell is so sweet. Like when you open up one of those candles that are like just vanilla, and it just like hits you in the face, like.
Yeah. You know, one thing I'm noticing is that out of all the cereals, this one has a seriously obvious glaze. Like the inside is like pure yellow, but the outside is like pale in comparison.
But it's like a powder though.
Yeah, like it does like come off on like fingers.
It's still on me.
Yeah, but at least from a appearance, like and just like how long it took to get these out, it's like for all the time it took them, you'd think a little more thought would have been put into this. I mean, whether or not they work, and in some cases better than others, it's been proven you can make like stuffed cereals, like Crave, which I love, the Pop-Tart cereals, which are very hit and miss, but they're better dry.
But aren't those by Kellogg's? Isn't it Kellogg's who's done the stuff inside? Because Crave and the Pop-Tart cereal are made by the same company. So they're using the same process to create them. They're just using different fillings instead of chocolate.
Apple Jacks is by Kellogg's, right?
That doesn't have a filling though.
Okay, yeah, but
actually I don't know who Apple Jacks is by.
But I remember there was this little comic on one of the boxes we reviewed that had like all the little mascots, and on it was Apple Jacks and the Crave mascot.
Oh, okay, then
so
it must be, yeah.
Okay, so if it's the same person, then it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that is interesting. But I mean, shouldn't we just? I mean, weird ingredients and such and so aside.
No, I'm not ready to try it yet. I'm not ready.
Okay.
Okay, I want to look at. Okay, this kind of stuff gets me.
Okay.
One serving of this cereal has more calories than a Twinkie. Okay.
You know, I will say one thing about Twinkies. Back in the day.
And more carbs than a Twinkie. One serving. We all know nobody eats one serving of cereal. If you do, good on you. But no one, you just pour it in your bowl. So, I'm just saying, I'm a little concerned about it. I'm trying to find what's in a Twinkie, like what the ingredients are.
Yeah. Well,
it says ingredients and then doesn't actually talk about the ingredients.
Well, you are
strong.
Well, you are the snack this time around. Would you like us to jump into the tasting, like you can look stuff up while we eat?
That sounds good. I'm still Googling.
All right.
Still Googling.
Oh.
I want to know what the ingredients are in a Twinkie.
Oh.
And then I'm gonna put some of these in my mouth, even though I feel like I'm gonna regret it.
You're oh, jeez.
Oh god.
It's like the freaking donuts again. Whatever that sugary stuff is, it's coming off again.
That's what it is. It's the exact same coating they use with donuts. No, you're absolutely right. I literally 3 of those in my mouth, and I can tell you that's exactly what it is.
The texture is the same too. Even the taste is similar. It's like kind of cakey.
Okay, so main ingredients for Twinkies are wheat flour, sugar, corn syrup, niacin, and water. Not quite as much sugar. Why is there more sugar in cereal than in an actual, like, dessert treat?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, that's concerning to me. Not to be like,
I
the
will
sugar
say,
police,
though,
but...
unlike the donuts, where I later had them as a snack or off camera, they were a little better, while as a spooner, like, all the sweetness went away immediately. These actually do keep their sweetness. Like...
That's interesting.
Despite it being powder and like...
This is really
despite it washing
sweet.
it off, it actually is like keeping its sweetness, so...
No, this is gonna be a hard no for me. Like that. The smell gave it away. If you open the box, okay, if you want to try these, because why not? Because like it's Twinkie cereal. Come on. So even just for one box, what are you doing? Like $3? Whatever. If you're gonna try it, that smell that you get when you open it, if you like that, you're gonna love this cereal. I just don't. I don't think it's great. It's really sweet. Especially with like no milk or anything to cut through it.
Yeah.
It's really sweet. And I like sweet cereals. You guys know, like, I want marshmallows in everything. But like, these are sweeter than marshmallows. Like, it's just a lot. The texture and maybe it's the dextrose that gives it that weird, like it almost feels like powdered sugar, the way that like powdered sugar melts when you eat it. That's the feeling that I get from these, which I don't get on this. The donuts, it made sense because that's what they were going for, because they're going for those little tiny powdered sugar donuts. This is a Twinkie. There's no powdered sugar. There's a cream filling and a spongy, soft yellow cake.
And it doesn't have either of those.
No.
Yeah, it is really crunchy.
And like kind of gritty.
Yeah. I will say I think the cake-like taste comes through a bit better here, and I guess that kind of works for what it's supposed to be, but it's not exactly the same, and the lack of frosting just basically renders this whole thing moot.
But if there's frosting...
Well, yeah, then it would be even more sweet.
They're already so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is...
Maybe that would have like toned something down.
It doesn't...
As like a trade-off.
It doesn't look like a bowl full of Twinkies, because they don't really look like Twinkies.
No. I mean, I guess to be fair...
It's like a bowl full of disappointment.
I guess to be fair, with like the other cereals, like you could tell what they were supposed to be. Like the Honey Bun one was Honey Buns.
They look like
little
Honey Buns. The
Honey
Honey Bun one, though.
Oh yeah, that one was really good. But...
So good.
Yeah, you'd think that Hostess would like put a little more like time.
What about like Raspberry Zinger? Is that Hostess or is that Little Debbie? I can't remember.
What are they?
Raspberry Zingers.
Oh, I thought you said Raspberry Zinger, like one of my favorite teas.
It's the same name.
Yeah.
It's just a Hostess thing or Little Debbie. Or
I don't know. I'll say.
Yeah.
Those two always kind of blend together. Not gonna lie.
Well, I mean they're competitors.
I'm a cereal enthusiast, not a snack cake food enthusiast.
So yeah, but even with cereal, we don't off the top of our head know what all of them all of them are. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Honey Buns, they were onto something. Okay, so our canned person just Google for me. And yes, the Zingers, which are raspberry flavored, those are by Hostess.
Oh, okay.
Like, I feel like they're picking the wrong things.
Well, but
like, I get why they went with Twinkie. I just think that they needed to think it through. What is the flavor of Twinkie?
Cake.
Sugar and cake? How do you turn that into cereal? Honey Bun, beautiful execution. Gorgeous. Absolutely.
I think the problem is they're trying to go for like what's recognizable, as opposed to like what'll work best. So like you know the like donuts, you know Twinkies, you know Honey
Buns. If we
Buns.
showed you a picture of the Zingers, you'd be like, oh, those.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like if it's out on the shelf, someone's gonna go, oh, those. Yeah, let's try that. I don't know. I feel like both these and the donuts, they're just kind of like this bland sugar flavor.
Yeah.
And it's not great, and the texture isn't great, and like the Honey Buns were so good. Like the Honey Buns were like a 5, and like this and the donuts are like a 0. Like, I think I'm sure I scored the donuts better than that, but hindsight being 2020. How many times can I make that joke this year? They weren't that good. So I don't know, Hostess, what you doing? I don't know, cause I got a bowl and I don't want to finish it, which is sad.
The Zero telescope.
No, I just can't. Every reason, since I opened the box, nothing good. The first and 2 ingredients are sugar, and that's what it tastes like. And again, I love sweet things, but I also love flavor, and flavor was missing, and texture was missing, and what is there left? Sugar apparently. So no, absolutely not. I would never buy these. I would feed them to my chickens only because I know chickens can't taste. Okay? That's it. I don't know who would buy this or who would eat it other than like the fun of like Twinkies. Mm-hmm. But once you get past that, which I'm way past it, no. Like specifically as a snacker, they leave, like my fingers are still sticky. It's not a glaze per se. It's like a coating, but the coating gets on you and it leaves you sticky. Not great. The texture is gritty, which I don't know how that works in the milk, but just as a snacker, like in my mouth it's bad and on my hands it's bad. So I'm like, what is the point of this? I don't know. I don't like it, which is Like, it's not like Funko level bad. Like, it is edible. I just really would not like to eat it.
I'm going to give this a 2. I'm going to say, it really did kind of fall flat on the fact that 1, it was kind of a mirror of the donuts. 2, it didn't have any sort of like attempt to replicate the frosting, despite the 2 main ingredients being 2 kinds of sugar. Not one of them was put to its filling, and also the burnt parts were a little weird. I mean,
a little off-putting.
Yeah, that like. If that had been like an older box, I would have been like, no. but knowing that it's a like newer box, and so it must be like something like with their like manufacturing, it's like that's almost just as bad. Not gonna lie. I mean, no, it's not, but but I will say that as opposed to the donuts, they did keep their sweetness in the milk.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to the donuts, which just became like
that a
crunchy.
plus, though?
I'll say it's a plus, because, whether or not their flavor was good, they actually managed to keep it. As opposed to donuts, which
that's fair.
As opposed to donuts, where like when you put it in milk, if once that coating's off, they're nothing.
Then it was just like blandness.
And while not quite Twinkie flavor cake, like cake flavor, it did have a noticeable cake flavor. Like that sort of like cakey type of thing.
Yeah.
Still not a fan.
Along the lines of birthday cake.
Yeah. Whatever that is. But yeah, just like it's not Twinkies, and it's way too crunchy. There's no filling, but it's okay. Actually, I kind of want to return to what I was trying to say in our first impression segment. It's in a way they're kind of like real life Twinkies. Because as many of you may know, when I was younger, I couldn't eat wheat, so all this sort of thing of like Hostess was like off the menu. So, and of course, as we integrated wheat back in, and finally I got over my allergy, or it just passed, whatever. I finally tried Hostess stuff, and while I loved like the little cupcakes, the Twinkies themselves, which I was like, oh, those must be amazing, were. They're kind of spongy, they're not great. It's similar to that. It's like Twinkies cereal. For months it's like, oh my gosh, it means it's gonna be so weird, it's gonna be so cool, but we're gonna be filling, and now when we have them, it's just like...
It's like that thing that like you're excited about, and in your head, you're like, yes, this is gonna be awesome, and then you eat it, and you're like, oh.
It's the cereal equivalent of like hype backlash.
Yeah, it's the cereal equivalent of a Twinkie.
Yeah.
It's literally how I feel about Twinkies. I'm like, yay, Twinkies, and then I eat it, and I'm like, oh. This was disappointing. Where's the real cake?
Yeah, just go get like some cupcakes instead. They're so much better.
Oh yeah. Have you tried this cereal? Let us know what you thought in the comments below.
And make sure to head over to our Patreon. For as low as $2 a month, you'll be able to chat with me daily, and you'll get a reward in the form of a patron-exclusive certificate, which features an original illustration by yours truly.
Thanks for watching.